All right, let's dive into something truly mind-bending. We're going to explore a really unique interpretation of the Quran's structure. And it suggests that reality, it's not a straight line at all. It's actually a cosmic loop. Yeah, a loop that could totally change how you think about time, choice, maybe even your own existence.
So let me ask you something. How do you picture time? Is it just a straight line, a one-way street that goes from birth to death? Well, the model we're looking at today, it throws that whole idea out the window. It suggests reality is so much more complex than just a simple line. So, if it's not a line, what is it? According to this interpretation, creation is a continuous loop. But get this, it's not just a circle. It's a Mobius strip. You know that shape? It's a single continuous surface that has this little half twist in it. And that twist connects everything in a really unexpected, fascinating way. Okay, so let's get into it. The cosmic Mobius strip. The core idea here is that when the divine command be was given, it kicked off this constant circulation. It means that things like birth, death, and even spiritual ascension, they aren't separate sequential events. Nope, they're all just interconnected parts of one single journey.
Yeah, the source actually calls this the Mobius motion of time. And what that really means is that you can't separate the beginning from the end. They just flow right into each other. Think about it for a second. If you took your finger and traced a path along a real Mobius strip, you'd end up covering the entire surface and come right back to where you started, all without ever lifting your finger. It's all one continuous path. And this is where it gets even more interesting. This interpretation doesn't just see the Quran as a religious text. It frames it as a quantum textbook. The idea is that it's basically a manual for reality itself, revealing the fundamental fabric of time, consciousness, and existence. Kind of like how physics gives us the laws for the material world. So inside this cosmic loop, you've got these two fundamental forces that are always at work. They're constantly shaping the journey of every single soul. And this model identifies them as light and fire. Think of them as the two main engines driving creation and choice. So how do these forces show up? Well, they appear inside the soul as two opposite states. On one hand, you have the ruh, the spirit. And you can almost think of this in quantum terms, right? It's like pure potential, the wave state of light and truth. But on the other side, you've got the nafs, the ego, the self. And this is the particle state. It's condensed, it's individual, and it's driven by the energy of fire, which, well, that's what can lead to pride and entropy. And it's not just abstract forces. They're also represented by key cosmic agents. So you have Jibril or Gabriel, who embodies light. That's all about knowledge and revelation. Then there's Mikael or Michael, who represents water, which symbolizes mercy and sustenance. And finally, you have Iblis, who is the agent of fire, the force that brings trial, pride, and ultimately separation. Okay, but remember, every Mobius strip has that one crucial feature, the twist. And in this cosmic model, that twist is everything. It's not just a quirk of geometry, it is the single most important moment in this whole journey. You could even call it the pivot point of existence. That physical half-twist in the strip? It's a metaphor for a metaphysical moment of choice. It represents the exact point where the soul has to decide which force it's going to align with. Is it going to be light or is it going to be fire? This is the ultimate test of free will. And this entire choice, this entire twist, it all comes down to one single concept. Kibr, pride. In this context, it's defined as this cosmic error of believing that your own origin, in this case fire, is somehow better than someone else's, like Adam being created from clay. It's that feeling of superiority that leads directly to refusing a divine command. And you can see that exact reasoning right here in this quote, which is attributed to Iblis, explaining why he wouldn't bow to Adam. I am better than him. That one single declaration of pride, that is what creates the twist in the fabric of reality. It's the cosmic separation that kicks off the entire trial. This is the moment the path splits in two. So that leads to a pretty big question, right? If we're all on this incredibly complex loop with this critical twist of choice, how are we supposed to navigate it? Well, according to this interpretation, that's where the prophets come in. They aren't just guides, they're like living roadmaps, showing the way back toward the light. But to really get their role, you have to wrap your head around another one of these quantum-like ideas in the model. Time isn't a constant. It's not the same for everyone or everything. It's a bit like Einstein's relativity, suggesting that time can actually speed up, slow down, or even feel like it stopped,
all depending on your spiritual state, whether you're aligned with your spirit, your ego, or the divine light. And a story from the Quran is used to make this crystal clear. Picture this. A man is brought back to life after 100 years. His soul, his ruh, is perfectly preserved, memory intact. But his donkey, representing the physical body or nafs, has totally decayed down to bones. Entropy took its course. And then there's his food, which symbolizes his good deeds. It's still fresh, totally unchanged, preserved by light itself, basically existing outside of time's decay. You've got 3 different things, all experiencing those 100 years in completely different ways.
So, the prophetic path for navigating this loop is laid out in 4 key stages. You start with Yahya, or John the Baptist, whose life symbolizes sacrifice, renouncing worldly attachments and the ego. Then you move to the stage of Musa, or Moses, which is all about submission, that internal struggle against the pharaoh of your own pride. From there you get to the ascension of Isa, or Jesus, which represents spiritual elevation and getting closer to the divine. And finally, the path is completed with Muhammad, who represents the perfect synthesis of it all, submission and ascension working together.
Which brings us to the big finale, the grand purpose of this whole cosmic journey. Why are we on this loop in the first place? What's the final destination? Well, the ultimate purpose is simple. It's to return. The entire loop, with all its challenges and choices, is designed for one thing: to guide the soul back to its divine source. Every single choice you make, especially at that critical twist of pride, determines which way you're headed. Are you ascending back toward the source of light, or are you falling into the decay of fire? And so this whole cosmic map really leaves us with a deeply personal question. Because the Mobius strip, when you get right down to it, isn't just a map of the universe, it's a map of you. And the question it's asking isn't some abstract theoretical thing, it's for right now. As you move through your own life, making your own choices, which way are you turning on the loop? Towards the light or towards the fire?